Setting up a new aquarium doesn't have to be expensive, especially if you're willing to get a used one. This setup cost me a total of $20. Granted, I already had everything but the aquarium. Keep watching if you're interested in learning how to set up a cheap and easy planted aquarium in 5 simple steps. Let's have a look at the materials and costs. As for the aquarium, I bought it for $20. It's a fluval spec, it's a 5-gallon or 19-liter aquarium, and I got it on Facebook Marketplace. Normally it's $115, so it was a pretty good deal. Sometimes there's a lot of cleaning associated with the used tank, but this one actually came really clean. As for the substrate, get whatever you can find that comes in a small bag that's going for a good price. I think right now on Amazon, you're probably looking at spending around $17. Then you could get a couple little mesh bags. That's going to be really helpful to keep the substrate out of the sand. The sand will probably cost you around $5. You can get some play sand or pool sand at your local hardware store. As for the rocks and sticks, just go outside and find them. Plants, you can probably find them for free or next to nothing if you look on Facebook groups. If you live in northern Colorado, I usually have a plant clipping giveaway about once a month or so that I announce on Facebook. All in all, this setup should cost you anywhere between $20 to $50. Step 1. Cleaning. Give that tank a good scrub down. Step 2. Substrate. Put the planted substrate in the mesh bags and place them in the back of the aquarium. Then pour sand on top. Make sure to layer enough sand on top of the substrate so that you'll be able to stick plants in there. Step 3. Hardscape. Lay your rocks and wood out. If you're lucky, your cat might give you a hand. This is a really small aquarium and I didn't want to get too crazy with the hardscape, so I decided to silicone the chunk of wood to the side of the tank rather than weighing it down with rocks. Turns out I probably should have thought about this ahead of time. There wasn't really enough space to get underneath and silicone the bottom of the branch, so I ended up taking everything out and siliconing underneath and then sticking everything back in. All in all, it really wasn't that much extra work, but I am pretty good at creating more work for myself. Then I siliconed another little branch in just to add some detail, placed some more rocks out, and then some fine rocks for more detail, and called it good on the hardscape. If you're looking to save money on hardscape, I recommend you go out into the woods and find some of your own. These branches were really easy to find, same with the rocks. Step 4. Planting. Planting is pretty straightforward. You're just going to grab the base of your plants with the tweezers and stick them into the sand. Some plants like moss or bucephalandra don't like to be planted in the substrate. In these cases, you can either use some super glue to get them on top of wood or rocks, or you can wedge them in between two surfaces. When you're done planting, make sure to fill the tank very slowly. If you fill it up quickly or pour water directly on top of the sand, you're going to create a huge mess. If you end up getting the same tank, the fluval spec, you can actually pour water in one of the back chambers. You'll still want to do this slowly, but it's probably the best way to fill this tank up. Step 5. Filter media. If you want to cycle your tank quickly, you can take some filter media from an established aquarium and use that to seed beneficial bacteria. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm taking out some lava rock from my canister filter, I'm adding it to a little mesh bag, and then I'm going to put that in the new tank's filter. Because the sponge is designed to accommodate both carbon and ceramic rings, I'm going to cut out this little place in the middle and just fill it up with lava rock. I prefer using biological filtration over chemical filtration, and this will also help to get things started quicker in terms of the nitrogen cycle. Well, it's the next day and some of the plants have come up. I had a hard time getting them buried deep enough in the sand, and I don't really want to put more sand in, so what I'm going to do is use some lead weights to wrap around the base of the plants so that they'll stay submerged. I'm also going to add a few more plants, white things down, and call it good. Hopefully Henry approves. Thanks so much for watching. As usual, drop me a comment if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them personally. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more similar content to this. See ya!